Hi, welcome back to Cafe at Home. I'm Miss Van, and today we'll be making some paper snowflakes. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we need. I have a few pages of white computer paper, just plain paper. I also have pen, pencil, and marker, whatever you prefer. I like to draw my patterns out first, and this will just kind of help you see what I'm doing. And then we'll need some scissors. I have a utility knife for some of the more complicated patterns, and tape to tape it to my window. So let's get started. So when you use a utility knife, it helps to have a cutting surface. So I have this just kitchen sort of cutting board. And then the first project, as you can see, this one is cats. So to get started, you'll take your first piece of paper and you have to fold it kind of. You'll take this bottom edge up to meet the top edge, and you'll make a square. The whole picture. Alright, and then you'll end up having this edge here that you won't need. So I like to just kind of fold it, or you can cut it. But if you fold it a couple of times and you use your nail, you can get a really good edge, and you can just take it right off. So next, you're going to want to fold it. Fold your paper in thirds. And then I will go in half one more time to make sixths. And you don't need these extra points, so I'm just going to use the scissors and cut them right off. And then at this point, I kind of like to unfold my paper here and sort of refold it accordion style, and that just kind of makes sure that each segment is even. And you get better cuts when your segments are even. So that's pretty good. Okay. So to get this cat pattern, it's pretty complex. I'm just going to go ahead and take my pen here and trace the shapes. So then I'm also going to kind of go through and shade the parts that we're going to cut out. So I'm going to use my scissors for the bigger cuts, and I'm going to use my utility knife for these smaller shapes. And then if you don't want to see the pen marks in your final snowflake, make your cuts slightly bigger than your pen marks. So just go a little bit past your pen marks. Also, you want to make sure that you don't cut these connective edges. And then to get these like rounder shapes, it helps to have really sharp scissors, and you can kind of use the very tips of the scissors to get in there and just like clean up those extra bits. Alright, so now I'm going to use my utility knife and get these smaller pieces. So this is a utility knife and it locks, so I'm going to lock it. And you might have to go through, especially with these more detailed cuts, and just kind of recut on some of the different segments of your snowflake. And just trust me when I say that once you open your segments up, your paper up, you're going to be able to see kind of the marks. It's going to line up, so it's really going to be easy to get from page to page, like the different pieces. This one I can probably just use the scissors for. The ones on the edge are not difficult to use the scissors. All right. I really like making these DIY decorations. I think they're super fun and they always look really nice. So let's see what it looks like. And you can kind of use the edge of your utility blade to sort of pick out the tiny paper cuttings. You always want to be really careful with these knives. So I'm just going through and just being very sort of methodical, and I'm getting all of these precise little cuts out of the paper. You just gotta be a little bit patient when making all these little precise cuts. So as you can see, I'm creating a lot of little teeny tiny scraps of paper, and I'm sort of doing my best to keep them on my cutting board so they're easy to throw away when I'm done. And that way I can just sort of sweep them right into a trash can that I have nearby. And one of the more important things about cleaning up is putting your tools back in the same place. I like to refer to my tools as whatever I'm using for the project I'm working on. So in this case, my tools are my knife and my scissors and my paper. My cutting board, my pencil, my marker. It'll be a lot easier to do my next project if I can find everything when I get started. I also want to take this opportunity to thank my partners, Gold Detroit and CCS, as well as our sponsors, the community of Detroit's Education Commission, and General Motors. Thank you so much for making these videos possible. We really couldn't do it without you. Alright. So, this is the kitty cat snowflake. Awesome. And then it looks like I've got time to do another one. So I'm going to repeat the same process with the paper folding. And then I'm going to kind of go and sort of make up my own design as I go along. So again, you want to make, if you're working with plain computer paper like I am, you want to start by making your rectangle into a square. And then fold the paper in thirds. That one's kind of wonky. There we go, I like that fold a little bit better. Sometimes you just gotta go back and do it a couple more times to make sure that the folds are good and precise. There we go, even better. And then one more time to get sixths. And then we're gonna cut this triangle over here. And I just refold kind of back and forth. This is what I mean by accordion style. I think it's just easier to make sure that all of your corners line up. Oh, and that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us at Cap at Home. We are here Monday through Thursday at 4 p.m. We'll see you next week. Thanks for being here.